Hi, good afternoon. My name is Matt Elwell. I'm an account manager with CPA.com. Uh, with me today, joining me is Ray Barlow. Ray, thanks for joining us today. This week, we're highlighting sponsors and partners for our 2020 Digital CPA Conference and the November 19th Tax Track Learning Labs. Ray, for those that don't know, can you give us a little background, maybe share some information about your company, XCM?
Thanks, Matt. Sure. So XCM Solutions, we were established in 2002, and for those who don't know, we were recently acquired by Wolters Kluwer back in September. So now we're part of Wolters Kluwer Tax and Accounting. We've had a long-standing relationship with CCH over the years. We've had integrations built into our platform, into their platform, their Pro System platform, as well as their Access platform. So we think this is a great opportunity for us, and really the next direction for XCM as far as we evolve. In terms of XCM, we're a global company. We have offices in Boston and in India. We started as an outsourcing, a tax outsourcing company back in 2002 under the brand of XPatax, which still exists today as part of our outsourcing offering. But back then, we used a tool that we called the XPatax Client Manager to help us move returns back and forth to our clients and to our preparers. So that XPatax Client Manager, if you look at the initials, it stands for XCM. So firms came to us and said, it's great that you have this awesome workflow tool that helps us outsource with you, but we really could use a similar tool for our internal staff. So from that point, XCM was born, and probably around 2004, 2005, we started offering XCM Workflow for accounting firms. We have a suite of products, whether it's for their tax department, the CAS area, or the audit area. And we also offer a scheduler product. We do tax and CAS outsourcing, which is part of a lot of what I'm focused on. So Matt, that's a little bit about XCM.
That's exciting. That's the first time I'd learned where the name XCM came from.
Yeah,
as a DCPA sponsor this year, what are you looking forward to sharing with participants? What's exciting this year?
Well, I believe one of the most valuable tools for firms, especially today in this distributed environment, is our XCM Workflow application. Those firms that already were utilizing a web-based application like XCM really did well when they were forced to go to a remote work environment. So we really think that XCM is a valuable tool for firms that are working remotely. From what I've heard, I doubt that many firms are going back to complete office. If anything, they'll be in a hybrid mode, which means some will be working from home, some will be working from the office. And we see XCM Workflow cloud-based application as a critical component of how they're going to get their job done more effectively and efficiently this year. We're also seeing a growth in outsourcing in general. Both tax and client accounting services outsourcing is also continuing to grow, and we want to talk to people about that. We want to give them some information so they can, especially when it comes to CAS, which has obviously been a big topic for discussion. But those firms struggling to really scale their CAS practices can come to us and really, without necessarily increasing their staff, can increase their capacity. Same thing with tax season, the compression continues, and we see a lot of firms coming to us for that help as well.
Yeah, I certainly have a lot of discussions with tax firms, CAS firms that are struggling with that workflow, and certainly we're this tax season, and XCM has been a big topic of discussion in that area for how to improve and get better. Does XCM have any emerging technologies focused on tax as it relates to client advisory service that you'd like to tell us about?
Well, I'm not sure if it's new or emerging, but we have been working on really what we consider the next wave of technology is really the ability for our application to communicate and help firms collaborate with their clients. So we were working on a new application called XCM Collaborate. As we were acquired by CCH and Wolters Kluwer, they already have a tool called Collaborate, which again helps firms collect information from their clients, the ability to obtain those needed documents from the clients effectively and efficiently is critical. Wherever I go, wherever I've gone these past year or two, I've heard from firms saying that one of the biggest challenges they have is getting those source documents from their client during tax season. Oftentimes the client waits until they have everything before they send it, and that really slows down the whole process. So we really do believe that the next evolution of technology for us, and especially that's out there already, will be the expansion of the ability to collaborate with your clients and really get information from them effectively. Make it easy for them to send you information. Make it easy for them to know what's needed and get that to them, to the firm effectively. And obviously, the most important thing is if you can get started on that return in advance, it will save the whole compression around tax season. So it's the same for client accounting services as well. Getting that information back and forth from your client makes it a lot easier if you have this kind of a tool.
Absolutely, and that not just getting it back and forth, but keeping it organized and front and center for the entire team. So we're having a lot of the same conversations for sure.
Yep.
What excites you about the accounting profession today? What's got you excited?
Well, I think this year, and so we've had a pandemic, and really what we've seen, I think, is finally that move from compliance to be more of a business partner, and firms having their clients rely more on them for business advice. I believe the transformation is finally happening. We've been talking about this for the past several years, and I often hear from firms that we're not seeing as much business advisory. We're not seeing CAS take off in our firms as much as what we're hearing. But I think COVID-19 has really accelerated the transformation. Firms are now recognizing the need for business advice to help these firms. They've been working with them on the PPP and other things, but there are going to be continued challenges with small business when they come out of this pandemic. They're going to need even more help from accounting firms and accountants. So I believe the role of the accountant will continue to change, and their clients will be asking for more advice to help them grow their business. So I believe that what's exciting is we're going to see a total transformation of the profession. And I think COVID-19 hasn't been great for a lot of reasons, but I think it's really accelerated the need for accounting firms to provide more of that advisory work to their small business clients.
Yeah, that's been an exciting shift, and I know a lot of firms are laser focused on becoming that trusted advisor. So it's good feedback there.
Yep.
Now, specifically to DCPA, what has you excited about being a part of the DCPA community?
I've been attending DCPA for several years now, and I've always looked at this group as really a digitally proficient, cloud-oriented group that aligns well with what XCM does. All of our software solutions are cloud-based. We were cloud-based when it was not as popular as it is today. Back in the early 2000s, cloud was not really mainstream, and XCM was one of the first firms or companies in the industry to deliver a cloud application when everyone was still talking desktop. So I always felt we were on the bleeding edge back then, and now it is truly mainstream. So I kind of look at this group, as that group that really pushed this profession forward into the cloud, helped us a lot get our message out for the many years we've been business partners with Digital CPA. So I've always looked at this as a great fit for many years, and I think it's helped both our companies.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's been fun to watch and learn, how that tough conversation happened back then of, hey, you should get to the cloud, and how difficult that was. And now if you're not in the cloud, you're behind the times. So it's interesting to see how that transformation has happened.
Yep.
As we look towards 2021, what is the one trend that has developed this year that will benefit the area of tax? It could be an area of sales and use tax, or workflow process, blockchain, whatever's top of mind, anything the accounting professional should seize.
I'm thinking it's all about bots, AI, and RPA. I know it's still somewhat nascent, but we were here at WK and XCM. We've got several projects underway using bots and RPA to really help produce tax returns even faster. When you combine the RPA, AI, and bots with workflow, you have the potential to deliver that no-touch tax return, where technology does really all the prep work and the accountant really just handles a review. We're really not too far from that, in my opinion, and I think you're going to see an acceleration of technology to help accounting firms get the work done faster and more effectively and efficiently. We're close already. I've seen some things that I never thought I'd see before. I've seen a bot prepare a K1, which was pretty cool to watch.
Wow.
Well, it was very cool to watch. But here's what's going to happen, though, in my opinion. It's also going to create some challenges for firms because, when it comes to what we call hourly billing, that immovable object for some firms, it's going to meet the irresistible force, which is value pricing. Because if you can produce a tax return in minutes rather than hours, billing by the hour will be a challenge. So I really think this challenge will be discussed more frequently at the partner level throughout firms across the United States and maybe even the world. And as technology continues to shorten the time it takes to get the work done.
You touch on a big subject, though, where that value billing has to be front and center for firms when we're discussing advisory services, right? The investment into technology and all that stuff is hard to account for on an hourly basis. Whereas we think about value billing, we're really thinking about the whole package we bring to the table with not just tax returns or CAS or whatever it might be, but with that advisory service. So it's an important discussion. But I think you'll be excited to see there's some firms focused on bots that'll be at DCPA this year. And Ray, thank you for joining us today. You can check out XCM at the Learning Lab on Thursday, November 19th between 1 and 5 p.m. And that's Eastern time. And then chat with XCM in the Digital CPA Resource Center. Appreciate your time today, Ray. Thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome, Matt. It's been my pleasure. Have a good day.
You too.